that you don't know, obviously, whether or not Iran will follow through on their promises, but the president did call the new president on Friday of Iran and sort of opened up diplomatic negotiations. So why not do the same with the House Republicans? You're at loggerheads. Call them.
The reassertion of GOP talking points, but the let's
why don't you at least talk to them, even if they're wrong?
Can I remind you that it was the Speaker of the House in several venues who said at the beginning of this year that he would never negotiate with the president again, that he felt doing so burned him. I suppose.
Bring him over here and force him.
And maybe you didn't catch up to what the president just said, but he said he would be talking to leaders of Congress.
So why is there not a meeting today?
Again, I have nothing new to report on the president's schedule, but the House of Representatives could have in the past, a few days ago, and could today, very easily avoid shutting down the government by passing a clean continuing resolution that extends funding of the government for several weeks into the future, allowing for further negotiation about our budget priorities. You know, even Fox has reported this, that the Speaker had one approach he wanted to take, and then, the Tea Party yanked him in the other direction. And we've seen a number of Republicans, including in the House, say that they believe if the Speaker would just put on the floor the Senate bill, a clean CR, that it would get a majority in the House, including the votes from the Republican Party necessary. So what we have here, if these Republican lawmakers, Raul Labrador, Charlie Dent, Tom Cole, and others are accurate, what we have is a proposition here where majorities of both houses are absolutely willing to pass clean continuing resolutions. And for non-governmental folks out there, that just means, legislation that keeps the government open without any ideological riders attached or imperatives attached. Majorities in both houses. So the issue then is, will the Speaker of the House do that, or will he shut down the government? Because there's a majority to do it. We saw it in the Senate. We know it exists in the House. So this should not be about the internal politics of the House Republican Conference, because it's too serious.
Right, so that's their problem. For you, you're saying the president's position is he's in favor of a long-term budget deal. How do you get a long-term budget deal without actually sitting down with anyone to
Again, the president has met with and spoken with countless Republicans this year, including the Speaker of the House, and has made clear in concrete ways through his budget proposals and through his offer to Speaker Boehner at the end of last year, his seriousness about compromise, his willingness to make tough choices when it comes to resolving our differences and funding our priorities, protecting the middle class, and dealing with our deficits, continuing to bring down our deficits, which, by the way, have been falling at the most precipitous rate since the end of World War II. Again, not a talking point you often hear from the Republican Party, just as you don't often hear, in midst of all this debate, claims by the Republicans that this is about deficits or debt anymore. It's about, it can't be, because doing most of what they insist we do with their demands would actually increase the deficit and debt rather than decrease it. So I guess that's not their main priority anymore. Their objective now is focused entirely on trying to prevent the implementation of a law that passed Congress, was signed into law by the President, was upheld by the Supreme Court of the United States, and validated across the nation in a presidential election. Roger.